Hey there. Ready to unlock some serious marketing magic?
Sounds intriguing.
Today, we're diving deep into Allan Dib's The One-Page Marketing Plan. It's your shortcut to a clear, actionable strategy.
The one-page marketing plan. A classic.
Forgets the business school jargon? We're going for straight-to-the-point wisdom.
Love that.
Stuff you can use right now, whether you're running a company or just want to get your own work seen.
So, practical advice for everyone, not just CEOs and marketing gurus.
Exactly. We'll be talking about counterintuitive stuff, like why the lowest price game is dangerous.
That's always a tempting trap, isn't it?
It is. We'll also cover how to make your marketing feel like a welcome guest instead of a pushy salesperson.
The fine art of subtle persuasion.
And get this, we'll even explore the power of strategically firing customers.
Whoa, now that's something I didn't expect. Firing customers.
You heard right. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's start with the basics. Dib has a really interesting take on what marketing really is.
Okay, I'm all ears.
It's not just about shouting your name from the rooftops. It's about, well, strategy.
I like where this is going.
He uses this brilliant analogy picture, a circus coming to town.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Now imagine a sign that simply says, Circus, Saturday. That's just advertising.
Right, pretty basic.
But if you slap that sign on an elephant and paraded it through Main Street, now that's promotion.
Haha, I love that. You're definitely getting people's attention with that.
Exactly. It's not enough to just exist.
Huh?
You got to grab attention in a way that's memorable and compelling.
It makes you realize that most small businesses go about marketing all wrong. They don't think big enough.
And that's where the plan comes in, right? Dib argues we wouldn't trust a doctor who just winged it.
True, you want a doctor with a plan.
So why do so many businesses fly blind with their marketing?
Like, no marketing plan today, folks. Let's just see what happens.
Exactly. A solid marketing plan is just as crucial to a business's success.
Okay, I'm convinced, but I'm sure a lot of our listeners are thinking, marketing plan sounds so formal.
Right, like some huge corporate document.
Exactly. Gathering dust on a shelf.
But Div's brilliance is in simplifying it, making it something you can actually use.
And that's where the one-page concept comes in, right?
Exactly. It's not about a massive document. It's a focused framework. And one of the most mind-blowing parts is the 644 rule.
Okay, now you've got my attention. 644 rule, what's that?
It takes the 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
You know, that idea that 80% of your results come from 20% of your effort.
Right, the Pareto principle.
Exactly. Well, the 644 rule takes that and dials it up to 11.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So 64% of your success is riding on just 4% of what you're doing.
That's what Dib says.
That really makes you think about how much time and energy we probably waste on things that barely move the needle.
Absolutely. It's a game changer when you can ditch the busy work and laser focus on those high-impact actions.
Speaking of things that don't work, Dib also warns against the small business trap of mimicking big company tactics.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
You can't compete with Coca-Cola's ad budget, so why even try?
It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Small businesses need to play a different game entirely.
Right. And Dib really stresses the power of niching down. It's not about trying to be everything to everyone.
It's about finding that sweet spot where you can offer real value to the market.
Something the market really needs.
And it aligns with what you're actually good at and, enjoy doing.
Exactly. And that's where his PVP index comes in. Personal fulfillment, value to the marketplace, profitability.
That's a really interesting way to think about it. It's not just about the money. It's about finding a space where you can truly thrive.
I completely agree. So, for example, let's say you're a photographer. Maybe you do weddings, corporate gigs, family portraits, all kinds of stuff.
Right, trying to be everything to everyone.
But maybe using the PVP index, you realize that, say, family portraits, those really light you up creatively.
Makes sense.
And the market loves your style. And it happens to be the most profitable type of photography for you. So suddenly, instead of being a jack-of-all-trades photographer, you're the go-to person for capturing family moments.
I see. So that focused expertise is way more powerful than trying to please everyone.
That's the idea. Okay, so you've nailed down your niche, but now what?
Now it's time to connect with those ideal clients.
Dib breaks it down into the before, during, and after of customer interaction. It's like a roadmap for the entire customer journey.
Okay, I like that. So it forces you to consider each stage of the customer's experience.
Exactly. Before, they have a problem, but they don't know you exist. During, they become aware of you as a potential solution.
And after, they've experienced your product or service and become, ideally, a raving fan.
That's the goal. Each phase needs a slightly different approach. Dib tells this story about Tom. He's a frazzled business owner whose phone and laptop can't seem to sync their contacts.
Oh, I can relate to that. Tech headaches.
Right. Total nightmare. So this is Tom in the before phase problem, but no clue what to do.
Okay, so how do we reach Tom?
Now, imagine Tom stumbles across an ad for a tech company offering a free guide, something like 5 secrets to tech harmony for busy entrepreneurs.
Sounds pretty tempting.
Right. He gives his email for the guide, and boom, he's now a lead in the during phase. But instead of hitting him with a hard sell right away, the company nurtures that relationship, provides value, proves they understand his pain points.
Makes sense.
The goal is to guide him smoothly to that after phase, where Tom, relieved and impressed, not only becomes a client, but tells all his equally tech-challenged friends.
The power of word-of-mouth marketing.
And that's the marketing magic we're after. But here's a mistake I think we all make: creating marketing that's all about us, not about them.
Oh yeah, we're all guilty of that sometimes.
It's like that person at a party who only talks about themselves. No one wants to stick around for that.
You're right.
Your marketing should be like a conversation, not a monologue. It should speak directly to the customer's needs and problems.
And that's where your unique selling proposition comes in, right?
You got it. It's that thing that sets you apart from the competition. But Dib makes this really interesting point. You don't have to be utterly unique, just remarkable.
So standing out from the crowd without having to reinvent the wheel?
Exactly. He uses the example of CD Baby, one of the first online music stores. They had this quirky order confirmation email that went viral.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of this. What did it say?
It was something like, "Your picture's on our wall as Customer of the Year."
Haha, I love it.
A small, unexpected touch that turned a boring transaction into something memorable and shareable.
Exactly.
It proves that being remarkable isn't about reinventing the wheel. It's about finding those little moments to delight your customers.
Okay, so we found our niche, we're crafting our message, and we're ready to be remarkable. But how do we get that message out there? How do we actually start bringing in those leads?
That's the million-dollar question. Dib has this concept of the ethical bribe.
The bribe. Okay, that sounds a little shady.
It's not as bad as it sounds. Think of it as offering something valuable for free
Okay, I'm listening.
to attract those ideal clients.
Okay, I like where this is going. So, like, what kind of bribe are we talking about? A lifetime supply of chocolate.
Haha.
Tempting.
But no, think more along the lines of a free report,
Okay.
a video tutorial, a checklist,
I see.
anything your target audience would find genuinely helpful.
So instead of going straight for the sale?
Exactly. You're providing value up front
Makes sense.
and positioning yourself as an expert.
Right, building that trust. It's like that saying, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime.
Exactly. And the best part, Dib actually cites a study that shows a well-crafted ethical bribe can boost ad effectiveness by over 1,200%.
Wow, 1,200%. That's huge.
It is.
So instead of just, yelling into the void.
You're attracting people who are already interested.
Okay, very clever.
Yeah.
But once you've captured those leads, then what? How do you keep them engaged?
That's where Dib's analogy of farming versus hunting comes in.
Farming versus hunting.
Instead of always chasing the next sale,
Right.
think about cultivating a loyal customer base.
Okay, I'm liking this analogy. Tell me more about this farming approach.
Imagine you're a farmer. You plant a seed and you don't just forget about it.
Of course not.
You nurture it, you water it, protect it.
Right.
Lead nurturing is like that.
So you're building relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Providing ongoing value, staying top of mind.
Makes sense. It's like that saying, the fortune is in the follow-up.
It is.
But how do you farm leads? Do I need to invest in overalls and a tractor?
Dib actually shares this great story about Joe Girard,
Okay.
this car salesman who holds the Guinness World Record for the most cars sold.
Wow, but most cars sold.
And one of his secrets was...
What's the secret?
He sent out thousands of personalized greeting cards to his clients every month.
Greeting cards, really? Like in this day and age with everything being digital?
Exactly.
That's so old school.
But it worked.
That's amazing. It just goes to show you the power of personal connection.
And staying top of mind.
So we've farmed our leads, we've nurtured them with valuable content, maybe even sent a few greeting cards.
Yeah.
And they become customers. Now what?
Now it's time to wow them.
Wow them.
Turn them into raving fans who not only keep coming back for more, but also tell everyone they know how amazing you are.
Ah, yes, word-of-mouth marketing,
Oh,
the
good.
holy grail of marketing.
But how do you go beyond just providing good service?
Right. How do you create that wow factor?
And Dib talks about exceeding expectations.
Okay.
Going above and beyond.
I like it.
Remember the Blend Tech blender company?
Oh, yeah. The guys who blended iPhones?
Exactly.
Who knew watching a blender pulverize electronics could be so entertaining.
I know, right?
It's brilliant marketing.
They took this mundane product and turned it into this online sensation. It's a reminder that creating that wow experience doesn't always have to be about these grand gestures.
Yeah.
It's often about finding these creative ways to surprise and delight your customers.
Okay, I love it. So we've wowed our customers. They're happy. They're telling their friends. How do we make sure they stick around?
That's where the concept of lifetime value comes in.
Lifetime value, LTV.
It's about looking beyond that initial transaction and considering the total revenue a customer can generate over time.
Okay, so repeat business, upsells, referrals, it all adds up.
Exactly.
But how do you actually increase a customer's lifetime value?
Well, Div has a whole arsenal of strategies.
Okay, let's hear them.
One that might seem counterintuitive is raising your prices.
Wait, hold on. Raise
It
prices.
sounds crazy, right?
Won't that scare customers away?
Not necessarily. Dib argues that customers are often far less price sensitive than we think,
Okay.
especially if you're providing that exceptional value and a great experience.
So if you're constantly adding value, improving your services, your prices should reflect that.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Are there ways to raise prices without, causing a mass exodus of clients?
Absolutely. You can grandfather in existing customers at the old rate, or you can give them ample notice of the increase.
Right. So you're being transparent. You're being respectful.
It's all about communication.
Okay, so raising prices, one way to boost LTV. What else can we do?
Upselling.
Upselling.
Offering those additional products or services that complement what the customer's already buying.
Ah, yes, the classic. Would you like fries with that?
Exactly.
But it's not about being pushy. It's about
No.
offering genuine value.
Enhancing their experience.
Right. Like if you're selling a laptop,
Yeah.
you might suggest a carrying case, a wireless mouse.
An extended warranty.
Makes sense. Okay, so upselling, providing those extra perks. But what about those customers who haven't bought from us in a while? Are they a lost cause?
Not at all. Dib calls this reactivation.
Reactivation.
Winning back those lapsed customers.
Okay.
And honestly, it's a lot easier than acquiring brand new ones.
Because they already know you.
Exactly. They already like and trust you.
So how do we lure them back into the fold?
You can offer special discounts.
Okay.
You could highlight new products or services.
Got it.
Or even just reach out personally.
See how their needs have changed?
Exactly. It's like saying, hey, remember us? We're still here, and we still care about you.
It's a lot more cost-effective than constantly having to chase after new customers.
I agree.
Okay, so we've got raising prices, we've got upselling, we've got reactivation. What else can we do to really maximize that lifetime value?
This is a big one. Turning your customers into referral magnets.
Ah, word-of-mouth marketing, the best kind there is. But how do you make that happen? Do we just sit back and hope for the best?
You can't just leave referrals to chance. You need a system
A system.
to actively encourage them,
Okay,
orchestrate them.
so how do we do that?
Sometimes the simplest solution is the best.
What's that?
Just ask.
Just ask.
You'd be surprised how often we forget to directly ask our happy customers for referrals.
Oh, that's so true. We just assume they'll automatically spread the word. But people are busy, they forget. We need to make it easy for them.
Exactly. You can provide them with referral cards, links,
Okay.
maybe even offer incentives.
Right, like a discount or something, a freebie.
And Dib also stresses the importance of explaining why their referrals are so valuable to you.
I see. So it's not just about, getting more business for you. It's about,
Right. It's about helping you reach more people who could benefit.
it makes them feel like they're part of something bigger.
Exactly.
Okay, so asking for referrals is key. What else can we do to get those recommendations flowing?
Explore joint ventures, JVs.
Joint ventures.
It's about partnering with businesses that serve a similar target audience,
Okay.
but offer complementary products or services.
So like a pet food store teaming up with a local vet.
Exactly. The vet could recommend the pet food store to all their new pet owners.
Makes sense.
The pet food store could offer discounts or incentives to the vet's clients.
It's a win-win. Both businesses get exposure to a whole new pool of potential customers. Are there any other examples of creative joint ventures?
Well, Dib shares a great one about a yoga studio
Oh,
that partnered with a health food store.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
The yoga studio would offer discounts on classes
Okay.
to anyone who shopped at the health food store.
So smart. It's like you're tapping into these existing customer bases.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, the most powerful referral generator is consistently delivering an exceptional customer experience.
Absolutely.
Because happy customers are the best salespeople, right?
There's no better advertising.
So, if you're constantly exceeding expectations, going above and beyond, people will naturally want to share their experiences with others.
Exactly. Speaking of creating a positive impression, let's talk branding.
Branding, yes.
A word that gets thrown around a lot.
It does.
But Dib breaks it down in a way that makes it clear and actionable.
And I think what confuses people is that there are so many different definitions of branding.
Yeah.
So it can be hard to even know where to start.
Totally. Dib cuts through the noise with this simple definition. A brand is the personality of a business.
Oh, I love that. It instantly makes sense. It's not just about a logo or a tagline.
Right.
It's about the overall feeling your business evokes.
Exactly.
And, just like people, businesses can have different personalities.
Right.
Friendly and approachable.
Sophisticated and luxurious.
Edgy and rebellious.
Exactly.
The key is to find a brand personality that resonates with your target audience.
Absolutely.
And sets you apart from the competition.
And it's important to remember that branding isn't about tricking people into liking you.
Right.
It's about building trust and loyalty
Exactly.
by consistently delivering on your brand promise.
Dib uses this term brand equity, which I think is really interesting. It's the goodwill you build up that compels people to choose your business over others.
It's powerful.
Like, think of Apple. They have incredible brand equity
They do.
because they're consistently delivering these products and services that exceed expectations. Their customers are like evangelical about their love for the brand.
It's amazing.
And that kind of loyalty allows you to command higher prices, attracts top talent.
Build a sustainable business.
Exactly. So how do we go about building that kind of brand power? What are some actionable steps?
Dib recommends starting by defining your core values.
Your core values.
What do you stand for?
Okay.
What's important to you as a business?
Right. Your guiding principles.
And once you have those values defined, make sure everything you do reflects them.
For walking the talk, right?
Yeah.
Making sure your actions align with your words.
Exactly. And be consistent
Okay. Consistency.
in everything you do. Your visual identity, your tone of voice, the quality of your products and services.
Because consistency builds trust.
Absolutely. If customers know what to expect from you, they're more likely to feel confident doing business with you.
Okay. Consistency. Got it. What else should we be thinking about in terms of building a strong brand?
Storytelling.
Oh, I love stories.
Me too. There's so much more engaging than just a list of features and benefits.
Absolutely.
And stories can really help humanize your brand, build trust, make your marketing more memorable.
Okay, so tell stories about your brand, about your products, about your customers.
Yeah, anything that helps people connect with you on a deeper level.
So sharing behind-the-scenes glimpses of our business, highlighting customer success stories, even creating fictional narratives that embody our brand values.
Exactly. And remember, stories don't have to be long or complicated.
Yeah.
Even a simple anecdote can be incredibly effective.
Okay, so stories are key. What else we need to consider when it comes to building a strong brand?
Visual identity.
Visual identity, yes.
Your logo, colors, fonts,
Right.
they all play a role in communicating your brand personality, making your business instantly recognizable.
Dib stresses choosing visuals that are not only aesthetically pleasing, but also aligned with your brand values and target market. So a luxury brand will obviously use different visuals than, say, a playful, family-friendly brand.
Totally.
It's about finding that right visual language to tell your brand story.
Exactly. And it's not just about your logo and your website. It's about your packaging, your signage.
Social media graphics, email templates.
Yeah. Every visual touch point is an opportunity to reinforce that brand personality. It's all about sweating the small stuff.
It really is.
Making sure that every detail aligns with your brand vision.
Okay, so visual identity, that's crucial. Anything else we should be thinking about when it comes to branding?
Especially for small businesses, building a personal brand is huge.
So it's about putting a face to the business.
Yeah.
Being visible, building those relationships with customers.
It is. In a world where people crave that authenticity and connection, A strong personal brand can be a huge asset.
Especially when, the owner of the company is often the face of the company.
Right.
But how do you go about building a personal brand? Do you have to be like an extrovert and love being in the spotlight?
You don't have to be a social butterfly. It's about sharing your expertise, your unique perspective,
Yep.
connecting with your audience in a genuine way.
Okay.
You can be active on social media, you can speak at events, you can write blog posts or articles.
So it's not about being boastful or self-promotional.
No?
It's about sharing your passion and connecting with people who share your interests
Exactly. And when you do that, people will naturally be drawn to you.
and to your business.
Right.
But a strong brand, no matter how well crafted, needs a solid foundation to thrive.
And that's where systems come in.
Systems. I have to admit, that doesn't sound as exciting as, branding or marketing campaigns.
It's not the sexiest topic, but
But it's important.
trust me, systems are the secret weapon of successful businesses.
Okay, so what are we talking about when we say systems?
Processes, procedures.
Checklists.
Yes, think of it as...
It's a way to streamline your operations, reduce errors, free up your time.
Exactly.
Think of McDonald's. They're essentially a system for making hamburgers. They have a system for everything.
And that's why they're able to deliver that same experience to customers all over the world.
Okay, that makes sense. Systems equal consistency and efficiency. But aren't they more important for, big companies?
Dib actually argues that systems are even more crucial for small businesses.
Oh, really? Why is that?
We often have fewer resources, less room for error.
Yeah, that's true.
Having those systems in place makes a huge difference.
So where do we even begin with creating systems? What are some of the key areas that we should focus on?
You can start with the areas that are most critical to your business: marketing, sales, customer service.
The stuff that directly impact your bottom line.
Exactly. Streamlining those can have a significant impact.
So Dib outlines a step-by-step process, everything from identifying key tasks.
Right, to documenting procedures, training your employees.
So it's like creating a blueprint for how things should be done so that everyone is on the same page.
Exactly. And remember, systems aren't set in stone.
Oh.
They should be constantly reviewed,
Makes sense.
refined to make sure they're as efficient as possible. It's all about that continuous improvement.
Okay, systems, continuous improvement, got it. What else should we be thinking about in terms of building a really successful business?
Here's one that might seem counterintuitive,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're just starting out.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Plan your exit from day one.
Plan my exit. But I'm just getting started.
I know it sounds strange,
It does.
but hear me out.
Okay.
By thinking about your exit strategy early on, you're forced to consider what will make your business attractive to potential buyers.
Down the road.
Exactly. So you're thinking, how do I make my business profitable, scalable?
With a strong brand.
Exactly. And it's not just about making it more valuable, it's about making it more sustainable.
Because if you're building a business that's designed to be sold, you're more likely to create systems and processes that allow it to function even without you.
You got it. And planning your exit doesn't mean you have to sell.
Okay.
It's more about having options.
And being prepared for whatever the future holds.
Precisely.
So you're building a valuable asset that you can either sell for profit or continue to grow and enjoy for years to come.
Exactly.
But while you're building this amazing business, it's important to remember that customer relationships are at the heart of it all.
It is.
And that brings us back to lifetime value, right?
You got it. Dib emphasizes that focusing on maximizing lifetime value is key.
To long-term success.
It's more profitable to keep your existing customers happy and coming back for more than constantly chasing after new ones.
And he provides a ton of great tactics for increasing LTV, like we talked about, raising prices, offering subscription services, running reactivation campaigns.
It's about seeing each customer as a long-term asset.
Not just a one-time transaction.
sell
It's
them.
about building a business that generates that recurring revenue rather than relying on, sporadic sales.
You got it.
Okay, so building a business with LTV in mind, that's crucial. But how do we know if our marketing efforts are actually working? Do we just cross our fingers and hope for the best?
Data is king when it comes to marketing.
Data is king.
You can't just rely on gut feelings or vague assumptions. You have to track your results and make those data-driven decisions.
Dib makes this really compelling case.
He does.
that even small 10% improvements in key metrics can lead to a huge increase in profit.
It's incredible.
It's amazing how those little tweaks can compound over time.
They really can.
But which metrics should we be tracking?
Some of the key ones Dib recommends are customer acquisition cost.
Okay, so how much does it cost you to get a new customer?
Exactly. Conversion rate. What percentage of your leads actually become paying customers?
Right, makes sense.
Customer lifetime value. How much revenue do you generate from each customer?
Over their entire lifetime with you. Okay, what else?
And return on investment. What's the return on your marketing spend?
Okay, so we're tracking all this data. Where do we keep it all? Do we need some fancy software?
You don't need anything fancy. A simple spreadsheet, a whiteboard will do the trick.
The important thing is just to be consistent
Yes.
with your tracking and to actually use the data to inform your decisions.
You got it.
So we can see our strengths and weaknesses, optimize our efforts, and really make smart decisions.
That will propel your business forward.
This is all great stuff, but I have to admit, there's one thing Dib talks about that makes me a little uncomfortable.
What's that?
Firing customers.
Ah, yes.
I mean, shouldn't we be trying to attract as many customers as possible?
It seems counterintuitive, I know.
It does.
But Dib argues that there's a difference between attracting any customer and attracting the right customer.
So not all revenue is good revenue.
Exactly. Some customers, even if they're paying, might actually be costing you more in the long run,
In what way?
draining your time, your resources, your energy.
I see. They become more trouble than they're worth.
Dib calls these toxic customers, and the income they bring in, polluted revenue.
Okay, toxic is a strong word, but I think we've all encountered those clients who just create more stress than profit. What are some of the red flags we should be looking out for?
Well, they're constantly complaining, always demanding discounts,
Oh, I know the type.
or just generally require way more of your attention than they deserve.
Right, and it's like they suck the joy out of your work, make it harder to serve your good clients.
Exactly. It's like drinking polluted water. It might quench your thirst in the moment, but it'll make you sick in the long run.
So how do we handle these toxic clients? Do we just grin and bear it?
Dib actually encourages us to do something that might seem radical, strategically fire them.
Seriously, just get rid of them.
It might sound crazy, but hear me out. By focusing on your tribe, those ideal clients who value your work and are actually a joy to serve, you'll not only be more profitable, you'll be happier, less stressed.
Okay, less drama, more focus on the good stuff. I can see the logic there. But wouldn't losing those toxic clients, even though they're a pain, wouldn't that hurt our bottom line?
Not necessarily. By freeing up your time and energy, you can actually focus on attracting more of those ideal clients. You know, the ones who are more likely to spend more, refer their friends, become those loyal advocates for your business.
So it's like that saying, one bad apple spoils the bunch. By removing the toxic ones, we create a healthier environment for everyone. Okay, I'm on board with firing toxic clients. That's a bold move. But how do we make sure we're attracting those ideal customers in the first place? And how do we keep them coming back for more?
That's where Dib's emphasis on staying ahead of the curve comes in.
Staying ahead of the curve.
You know, in today's world, things are changing so fast.
They really are.
Technologies evolve, trends come and go. What worked yesterday might be obsolete tomorrow.
It's like the horse and buggy. The people who didn't adapt to the automobile.
Gone.
Left in the dust.
Exactly. Dib encourages us to adopt a day 1001 mindset.
Day 1001.
Okay. It's about thinking about what our business will look like 3 years from now
I see.
and taking steps today to be prepared for that future.
So we're not just chasing the latest fad, we're strategically thinking about the long game. What does that look like in practice?
It might mean investing in new technologies, developing new products or services.
Or even completely reinventing our business model.
Exactly. The point is to be proactive.
Embrace change. Don't just react to it when it's already happening.
And that brings us to the heart of what Dib is saying. Marketing is not a one-time event.
It's an ongoing process.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. You can't just create a marketing plan, execute it once, and expect to see results forever.
You have to constantly be adapting, refining, improving your strategies.
Exactly. And the reason is the market's constantly changing. Your customers' needs are evolving.
New trends are emerging.
You got it. It's about having that growth mindset. Always be on the lookout for new opportunities, and don't be afraid to fail. Not every marketing campaign is going to be a home run.
It's true. But we learn from those mistakes and come back stronger.
Exactly. And I think that's why Dib really encourages us to view marketing as an investment, not an expense.
Because when it's done right, It can generate a huge return
and help you build a sustainable business.
that thrives for years to come.
Wow, this deep dive has been packed with insights. From niching down to firing toxic clients, Dib's The One-Page Marketing Plan really covers it all.
It really does. It's like having a marketing mentor in a book
It really is.
that breaks down all those complicated concepts and really empowers entrepreneurs to take control of their own success.
And for those of you who want to dive even deeper, be sure to check out the show notes for this episode. We've got some bonus resources there.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, remember, keep learning, keep growing, and keep marketing.